We begin today at the presidential office, where President Lee Jae Myung delivered a statement marking 1 year since former President Yoon Suk Yeol's declaration of martial law. Our presidential office correspondent Song Yoo-jin joins us live for more. Yoo-jin, what stood out in President Lee's speech?
Right. Good afternoon, Eun-ji. So President Lee's 10-minute speech titled First Anniversary of the Revolution of Light centered on honoring the public for turning what he described a moment of extreme national crisis into peace through unity and nonviolence. First, take a listen.
국회로 향하는 장갑차를 맨몸으로 막고 의회를 봉쇄한 경찰에게 항의하고 국회의원들이 헌법상 의무를 이행할 수 있도록 국회 담장을 넘을 수 있게 도와주었습니다. 국민들께서는 폭력이 아니라 춤과 노래로 불법 친위 쿠데타가 촉발한 최악의 순간을 최고의 순간으로 바꿨습니다.
Now, as you know, Eun-ji, the demonstrations calling for the impeachment of former President Yoon drew great global attention, with crowds waving K-pop light sticks and K-pop songs. And what especially stood out in President Lee's speech today was his remarks that the Korean people deserve the Nobel Peace Prize for overcoming a democratic crisis without violence, adding that he hopes serious discussions on the idea can take place. He also announced that the government plans to designate December 3rd as an official public holiday so that the public can remember and reaffirm its meaning. Finally, the president stressed that the revolution of light is not over, vowing to ensure strict accountability for those involved in the martial law declaration and to prevent something similar from happening again.
Right, and Yoo-jin, after delivering his statement, President Lee also held a press conference with international journalists. What were the key takeaways?
You're right. So the first question, President Lee was asked about the rising tensions between China and Japan. Now, to that question, the president answered that taking sides would only make things worse. Here's what the president said.
한쪽 편을 들기보다는 모두가 함께 공존할 수 있는 길이 무엇인지를 찾도록 하고 또 가능한 영역이 있다면 우리로서도 갈등을 최소화하고 중재 조정할 수 있는 부분이 있다면 그 부분의 역할을 하는 게 더 바람직하겠다 이렇게 생각합니다.
He also said he is willing to visit both China and Japan soon to hold talks with President Xi Jinping and Prime Minister Sanai Takaichi to further strengthen bilateral cooperation with each country. Now, several questions centered on President Lee's summits with U.S. President Donald Trump, particularly Washington's decision to give Seoul the green light to build nuclear power submarines. President Lee called it the most significant achievement, saying the decision will enhance Seoul's strategic flexibility and autonomy in the Northeast Asia region. At the same time, he again dismissed concerns that pursuing such subs could undermine the global nuclear non-proliferation regime, emphasizing that South Korea remains committed to nuclear non-proliferation and that developing nuclear weapons would, in fact, contradict Seoul's goal of a nuclear-free Korean peninsula. Eun-ji.
All right, that was our presidential office correspondent Song Yoo-jin.